Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gen Z Sanctum. And Nathan, of course, is joining us here today, as usual.
I am indeed.
So, last week we finished quite possibly the last Dream Room series episode, probably.
There was a lot of them.
There was a lot of them. I think we've been doing this for pretty much like the last like five, two or at least maybe 3 or 4 months, just dream episodes. In fact, if I go,
I don't think it was quite that long, but I
okay,
think it was at least a couple.
I mean, let me look.
I
Let
mean, it
me
might
look
have been
here.
more than that.
Let me look here. Let's see. Dream basement, dining room, living room. Longest and funniest episode ever was about dreams. Um, Dream the garage, Dream kitchen, home theater. So home theater was the first one, I think, and that was the 3rd of July. So over a
Wow.
month. Over a month of just
Nice.
dream episodes. Very fun. But today we're going to be taking it another direction and talking about some things, but we always start off these episodes with small talk. So Nathan, what small talk do you have to share with us?
I have small talk.
Okay,
You're welcome.
talk small. Wow.
Well, I don't have stories with it yet, but I will be going camping this weekend, which I haven't done in a long time.
Ew, that sounds
I can't
fun.
actually remember the last time I went camping. Now, everybody's going to say, well, I am camping in a trailer, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's not real camping. I'm like, camping's being in the wilderness in something that isn't your comfortable home. All
So
right,
you're
get
glamping.
over it. Whether it's a tent or a camper. Yes.
Okay, fun.
Ugh.
Oh,
And it's going to be
have you told them?
Friday through
Okay.
Monday. So,
Oh yeah. Have you told them about
huh?
have you told them about what's happened this last time since the weekend?
Oh, yerpy. I actually don't remember if I mentioned. I think I mentioned that I was going to Dream Cruise last episode, but I don't remember. I think I did. Wait, I don't remember. But I went to the Detroit Dream Cruise. You're
Wow.
welcome, audience. I don't care.
I went to the Dream Cruise. There you go. I don't care.
You're welcome. Saw a decent amount of stuff there. It was really fun, but for the average person, you'd walk around and you're like, this is boring.
That sounds really fun.
Which to some people it might be. Yes, it might be boring, but to me it's Disneyland because you get to see cool cars. You also get to see a lot of unique cars.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him, but Jay Leno was there.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That would have been cool.
Very.
But
But I didn't.
maybe next
Maybe
year.
next year,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, guys,
we will see.
my small talk involves p- podcast potential. Me and Nathan had been talking about this a little bit because Nathan was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Nathan was like, some of his friends were thinking about doing maybe a car podcast." And so my
Okay, I'm going to say something real quick. This
uh-huh.
does have to do with that. It is in the most like this is brainstorming. This doesn't mean it's going to be a thing. We're just like, oh, this would be really funny, but we don't know if it's actually going to happen. So,
Yeah.
just want to clarify that.
But yeah, no, I wanted to pitch that to the audience today and be like, what do you think? Okay, moving on. So that's all I want to say on that.
Huh.
Is what would you think if we did if well we they I would probably guest star a few times if anything. Um but
Yeah,
yeah, just
maybe,
l-
but
let me know in the comments what you guys think.
even if we did start it, it wouldn't be till like the end of the year.
Yeah.
Even if we did.
But yeah, you guys let me know whether you think that would be a good idea for me to be like James, like Clarkson or something. Oh no. Anyway, so
No, Sam wouldn't be Clarkson. You'd be that audience member.
the audience member. So I would just be laughing in the
Uh huh.
background randomly.
Uh huh.
Wow. All right. So I think now that we're done with small talk, I think, unless you have something else to add.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna be talking
I mean, no,
about.
not really.
Okay. We're gonna be talking about the main topic. We got two topics today because I don't think the main topic will take up enough time. But so the main topic is famous times companies have bought other companies. You know, company merges and stuff. So
Yes.
I've got a few. I've got three here that I thought would be interesting to share. Um, I'll start with the oldest one, which happened in 1989. So you can tell how long ago this was.
1989.
Yep,
And okay, you say that's old. I mean, I'm not downing on it at all, but
it's the oldest one
is
on the
it the
list.
oldest? Okay, so
But
you're going off a list.
yeah, I got a list of three of that I
Okay, the
found.
list, the merge that I'm thinking of happened in 1965. That's the merge I'm thinking of.
Nice. And
But
you
anyway,
anyway, so this one in
I will
19
keep interrupting. I'm
okay.
the interrupting cat. No, I'm just kidding. All right, go ahead.
And you're booted off the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no!
Anyway, no, this was in on September 28th, 1989. This is when Sony bought Columbia Pictures.
Ah, so Sony bought Columbia, or Columbia bought Sony?
Sony bought Columbia.
And this was 1989.
1989. Sony to pay $3.4 billion for Columbia Pictures.
$3.4 billion in 1989. Good lord.
Wait, hold on. Let me look this up. What?
That's a lot, even for back then.
Okay. 3.4 billion in 1989. What's Okay, so amount 3.4. Okay, that's that's a million. Calculate. Nope, that's one too many zeros. I'm an idiot. Yeah, $3.4 million in today's money would be. I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this calculator site to find out what the answer is. Or maybe I don't. What the frick? Oh, it's worth 8.6 million today.
You mean billion?
Billion. Sorry. Yeah, I'm done. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Okay. I'm frick. My brain is not working great. But yeah, no, is worth 8.6 billion today. Approximately. I might be completely wrong on
Nice.
that, but that's what the calculator said. But you'll have to, guys in the audience, if you think that's a wrong answer, type the right answer in the comments, and I will be sure to ignore it. Anyway, moving on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. Anyway, that was fun. So, what do you know about Columbia Pictures?
I really don't know a lot because for me, they're kind of the studio that has ran under the radar for me. So I don't know a whole lot about them.
Okay, well, I am going to look up famous movies that Columbia Pictures has made. I mean you should recognize Columbia Pictures. It's
Oh
the
yeah.
the lady with the
No,
torch.
I know
Yeah.
what Columbia is. Yeah.
Columbia pick. Let's see the movies that they've released, shall we? Um, we got a list here starting from 1934 going onward. I mean, they were behind the Three Stooges, which hilarious. They did James Bond, most of the James Bond films from 1967 to 2015. Um, they did the Karate Kid. They did Ghostbusters. They did RoboCop. Pretty much a lot of the really famous films from 80s, not 70s, 80s, 90s. Like that was Columbia Pictures behind that. But in '89, bought by Sony, and so now Sony owns the rights to pretty much all of that. So that's probably why we get to see like RoboCop and other stuff like in like games such as like I wouldn't say Final Fantasy, but with some of those fighting games. The reason why you see all those characters is because the company that made them got bought by Sony, which makes all these video games. So, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. Interesting. Anyway, so moving on. Uh I'll I'll do my 3 and then you can tell us about your one. Um
Okay.
this was another big one from back in 2022. So we're jumping to recently.
We're jumping really far, really fast.
Yep. And now we're going to 2054 in the future. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. So, yeah, January 18th, 2022. This was, you remember this, I think, when Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was big because it meant that the big company known as Microsoft got even bigger because it acquired things such as Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch, and those other games that pretty much everyone knew and loved and existed on their own became
Uh-huh.
part of the super monopoly essentially that Microsoft has on a lot of games and game companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your most notable remembrance from when Xbox or Microsoft more
So when
specifically?
they purchased it, the first thing that I saw about it was Whoa. The first thing that I saw is that a lot of games that were on PlayStation were going to become Xbox exclusives, like some Call of Duty games or, some games like that were just going to be like, oh, they're just going to be on Xbox because Xbox went to court with PlayStation to be like, hey, you're becoming too much of a monopoly of the game market. So
Wow.
the biggest, so yeah, excuse me, but so Activision was actually originally owned by Sony.
Okay.
So the reason Xbox was able to purchase it is because the whole court case between
Yeah.
PlayStation and Xbox, well, Microsoft and Sony. When Microsoft went to court with Sony, Sony had too much of a grip on um, Activision. So Microsoft was given the right to purchase Activision from Sony.
Interesting.
So that is how I understand how the purchase like that went.
Interesting. I'm looking into like Activision and stuff, and apparently, Activision they had former Atari game developers that came to start the company. Sounds like fun.
Ah, okay.
Anyway, very fun. One more that just got announced that I don't know if you've heard about yet. Did you hear uh what Mars bought?
Mars.
Yes.
So you mean the planet bought something?
The company Mars, Nathan.
So the thing is, when you say Mars to somebody who's never heard the company name Mars, does not know who you're talking about.
Okay, well, the company Mars, Nathan. It's a
Okay.
company named Mars that makes a bunch of really cool stuff like M&Ms and Snickers.
Oh,
Because of course you've probably heard of Mars bars, right?
I have not.
Oh, well, Nathan's an idiot. I'm kidding. No, Mars bars were
Wow.
Mars bars were essentially the Snickers of the like 80s and 90s, like the an earlier candy bar that was made by Mars before Mars started making M&M's, Snickers, and the stuff that they.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Anyway, it was just announced August. Like I heard this on the radio driving up to work that the make Mars Incorporated, the makers of M&M and Snickers, bought the company that makes Cheez-Its.
Huh. And who makes Cheez-Its?
Canova or Kellogg was what they were originally called.
Oh,
They're
I'm
called
pretty sure they're still called that.
Canova, formerly known as Kellogg Company, commonly
When
known
did
as
they
Kellogg.
change the name?
Good question. Let me look. Let me look that up. But apparently, let's see. Canova, formerly known as Kellogg. When did they change to trade name? Kellogg 2023. So it's a recent thing.
Very recent.
But yeah, no.
Huh.
So Kellogg has been bought by M&M's Mars Corporation, which is very
Here's my
interesting.
problem, right?
Okay.
So this has happened every single time when a company gets butt hurt.
Yeah.
The fact that when they buy a company, they're like, oh no, we can't keep the old name. We got to change it to something. We got to change it to the weirdest name we can possibly come up.
Yeah.
Colog or whatever.
Well, they're just now buying the company. The name changed before that.
Why? I don't
August
understand. Like,
2024, which is this month, is when they're buying the company. The name change happened last year, so before they even bought the company. I don't know
that doesn't really
either,
make any
but
sense. Why would you want to change the name of a very successful company?
I have no
Do
idea.
something completely different. Because like you just like you told me the company name. I'm like, I've never heard of that company before.
And then I was like Kellogg, and you were like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm."
I was like Kellogg to wait. Why is the name different? Just keep the name the same. What's the point? That's like a car company, like a very well known car company, like Ford or Chevy, going in and be like, that's too bland. We're gonna go in and say, like the weirdest name, like the pervert or something weird, like a name that doesn't even sound like the old name.
Yeah.
Like if Ford were to go in and be like, Ford's too bland, we're gonna go Kahoot. And we'd be like, this is a new car company, formerly known as Ford, Kahoot. It's so amazing. What's the point? What? It's gonna sell more. We're gonna get more famous. No, your business is going to decline
that's
because people
probably
are gonna have no idea who you are.
that's probably why Mars is buying Kellogg, because they're not Kellogg anymore, and people are like, it's declining.
Maybe
Is what I'm guessing.
that's really stupid.
But that's very interesting. So, what do you think will be different? What do you think will be different now that Cheez-Its, and I'm assuming, well, also cereal, like Cheez-Its is their most famous thing, but Kellogg makes pretty good cereals as well. What do you think will be different now that M&M creator Mars is now owning the company?
I sure hope they don't change anything
Yeah, I'm at. Well, I mean,
because all the cereals that Kellogg is known for, you know
yeah.
what's one of the most famous cereals they make,
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes.
Yep.
If they even so as change that recipe, I will find the CEO of Mars and punch him in the face. I mean, like, bruh.
Yo, we got this.
You bought the company and you're like, oh, a recipe that works so well. You have to change it. I'm too butthurt that it's too similar.
Hey,
Bruh.
I have a new cereal plan. Oh, really? What? Well, it's Frosted Flakes, okay, with little tiny M&Ms in it. All right.
See, that doesn't matter. If they change the recipe, like, if they just, it's Frosted Flakes just by itself, but they change the recipe, I'm going to be like, I'm going to kill you
Yeah.
now. Like, really, just keep the recipe the same.
Who knows? I mean,
What's so hard?
I don't eat Frosted Flakes as often as you do. You probably do, but maybe within the next couple of months we can like try it and be like, is it any different than it was before?
I sure hope not. It's like Twinkies.
Yeah.
Twinkies from way back in the day, they disappeared for a while. Somebody else bought the rights to it and completely changed the recipe. I'm like, bruh,
Yeah, Twinkies was actually really good for
bring
a
back
while.
the old recipe. Stupid.
I don't know, but yeah.
Ugh.
But that was the last one I had. So you said you had a car company release,
Yes.
or not release, merge. Yeah.
So this one, I don't have any research on it
Okay.
because well, I have just a tiny little bit. So this, when I said 1965, that was actually wrong. So this
Okay.
happened in 1969.
69.
Yes. So Ferrari was going through a lot. So Ferrari was still owned by Enzo Ferrari, and he was so focused on having the biggest like race name out there,
Yeah.
until Ford came along and it's just like,
Right.
oh well, Splat.
Yeah.
So the whole ordeal was with it is that Ford was actually trying to buy Ferrari.
Interesting.
So I was actually looking into it, and they had gotten so close. So Ferrari was literally about to shake hands with Ford. Yeah, let's make this deal happen. And then Fiat just prances out of nowhere and says 18 million right now. Just out of nowhere. Just 18 million. Like Ford, Ferrari are literally about to merge their companies. Then Fiat's like, nope, my turn. So Fiat does not. So Fiat is not a standalone company anymore. Fiat was bought out in 1988. I'm not sure who owns them now, but when Fiat was a standalone company, they owned Ferrari. Basically, Fiat made the production, and Fiat was the cool car, race team. Basically,
Yeah.
you know the company Fiat, right?
Yeah.
They're not really big in the U.S., but they're really big in Europe, and especially like in compact areas because Fiats are tiny.
Yeah. Fiats are an Italian company, I believe. From what I.
Yes, they are
Yeah.
Italian, which it kind of works.
Yeah.
Ferrari and Fiat,
They
both are
also
Italian company.
they also went defunct recently. Well, relatively recently.
Fiat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. After a while, Fiat was like, so Fiat came back to the U.S. in, I think it was like 2015.
Um,
I
which is interesting because Fiat defunct in 2014.
Let me see. So they returned
Maybe.
to the U.S. in 2011.
Okay.
They're still kind of in the U.S.,
Okay.
but not really. I'm pretty sure the only vehicle they sell in the U.S. right now is a Fiat 500e, so an electric version of the
Okay.
Fiat.
Oh, this is
So
interesting.
Fiat dealers do exist, but Fiat dealers are typically going to be merged with Chrysler dealers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So you're going to see You're gonna see a Chrysler, Dodge, all that. Then
Yeah.
you're gonna see the little itty bitty Fiat logo off to the side.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say I was scrolling down here through Fiat, um, and it said in 2009 they acquired Chrysler.
yeah, but now, so yeah, Fiat bought Chrysler.
Mm-hmm.
Which here's the most hilarious thing.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking here real quick. So do you know the Alfa Romeo Giulia? It's like a compact family sports car. It's a Italian version of the BMW M3.
Say
I
the
want to
name
say
again. I want to look this up.
Alfa Romeo Giulia.
Al Alfa Ro.
They're really not bad looking cars.
I have Alfa Romeos in Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah, but a Giulia specifically.
Giulia is a 2025 car. Apparently, is it that new
Well, the
or?
Giulia, they're new. Yes, you can still buy them new, but they were first announced in, I think it was 2015.
Let me look. Let me look here. Alfa Romeo
Uh,
Giulia. The first.
okay, all right. The first one was 1962.
Okay.
So the Giulia's been around. I think. Hang on.
Actually replaced by the second
Yeah.
Giulia Type 116 in the 1977 to 85, and then the third generation Type 940 was 2010 to 2020. So that's the
So
thing.
2010 is when it first came out. Here's the most interesting thing, and this is how So Chrysler is known for a parts bin. They are
Yeah.
what I call a parts bin company. And you know what I mean by that.
A parts bin company, so like Chrysler essentially.
Well, that's what I said. Chrysler is a parts bin company. What it basically means is that they will design their vehicles around like, hey, we already make this part. We're just going to throw it in there and make it work.
Wow.
So window switches, door locks, keys, everything is going to be like infotainment. Everything is going to be Chrysler.
But we get
So
to slap
basically, the
Fiat on it,
Giulia,
right?
people won't agree with me on this,
Okay.
but what I think the Giulia is a high performance Chrysler 200.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying. I know there's going to be so many. It's not. I know it's not a Chrysler 200. They have nothing to do with each other. But if you actually look at their size, everything, because the 200 doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
So Chrysler 200 was a compact sedan for Chrysler,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Giulia came out, and this is where the parts bin that I'm going to is the
Yeah.
Giulia has a V6 version of the Ferrari V8.
Okay.
Like literally, it's a Ferrari V8 with two cylinders just lopped off the back.
Interesting.
So yeah, Chrysler and the parts bin. I'm not saying it's a bad car, but what I am saying is that I wish they would be less of a parts bin puller.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna make a performance car like that and charge 60, 70 grand for it, at least make it somewhat unique. Oh no, that costs too much.
No, that costs too much. We can't do it.
Oh boy, that costs way too much.
Oh no.
But that was a really big merger because
Yeah.
in between that, so in Ford versus Ferrari, that movie, they talk about the merger between Ford and Ferrari is what it was originally going to be. But the way that Ford was going about it, if I know this correctly, is they were going to call it Ford Ferrari.
Ford Ferrari. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just Ferrari, let's make it complicated. But yeah, then Fiat came along and just, ooh, I'm buying you now. But yeah. Because the problem with Ferrari is that he had literally spent every single penny he had to get perfection. And he got there, and then it was just like, oh, shoot, I don't have any money left.
I don't have money. Money. Money.
Money!
Ah!
Money, yeah!
Yes. Well,
So that's the biggest one that I
yeah.
have.
Well,
I'm
let's
sure
move
there's
on
quite a few more.
to the second topic then, which is
Ah,
new food and drink releases. I've got a list of 4 here, which will be interesting. I don't think we'll ever be able to have any of these, but they looked interesting when I looked this up. So, Nathan, have you, I'm assuming you haven't, ever had Dr. Pepper hot take?
no.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper hot take is a Dr. Pepper that is exclusive edition, apparently. That's
Okay, hang on. I need to look this up. Dr. Pepper hot take.
yeah. Dr. Pepper hot take is really good. As of November 18th, it's only available for members of Dr. Pepper's fan program, Pepper Perks. Interesting. So it's very exclusive.
Huh.
Either play an online scratch and win game to try and win some or redeem 2,300 points for the program. Okay.
Huh.
What did you find?
Oh, I found the same thing you just said. The
Yeah.
fact that it's exclusive to people in a game or just like, celebrities. Oh boy.
Celebrities. Let's see. What is it? What is it like? It's not the retro hot Dr. Pepper recipe. Interesting. Okay. What is it like? Let's see. Hot pepper. So it's like Dr. Pepper. It's like Dr. Pepper hot. Hot Dr. Pepper, essentially. But
So
not
spicy.
spicy Dr. Pepper. Yeah. I don't get it. But what do you think? Because like Dr. Pepper's interesting. Dr. Pepper is an interesting flavor, but imagine if you like took a sip of Dr. Pepper and there was like this lingering burning taste in the back of your throat. I personally don't think I would want my Dr. Pepper to be suddenly burning my throat if I took a
Okay,
swig
it
of it.
depends on how much it would burn for me. Because I think a burning sensation from Dr. Pepper, depending on how much it is, actually would enhance the flavor
Really?
of it. But like I said, it determines on how hot it is.
Well, let's see which pepper is
Because it changed my
yeah.
perspective. Have you had spicy ice cream?
I have not ever had spicy ice cream.
It will change your life.
Really?
I'm going to say that right now.
Because it
Yes,
sounds absolutely
I had it.
disgusting.
It's not. It's so good.
Guys, tell me in the comments
It,
if it's good.
well, I'm the person right now who's
Yes.
had it, and it's not. It's. I mean, I know you're not really, susceptible to hot stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can handle heat.
Yeah.
So my sister had originally bought it, and she's like, "Oh, this is pretty good." She has it, and it's like, "Oh, it's way too hot for me." So I take some. I have them. I'm like, "Oh," like you can tell it's spicy, but I'm like, "Oh, the spice adds to the flavor. Like it's
Spicy ice cream.
pizzazz."
I'm looking this up.
Yeah.
So what
It was. Oh, what were they?
was it? Hot stream
Bomb
or
pops. They were spicy bomb pops.
spicy bomb pops? Let me look this up. Oh, let me. Yeah, I'm seeing these. There's like blue,
Yes.
green. There's like blue, red, green. Like a couple of different fire cherry
Yeah.
and like a bunch
But
of other.
you need to try them. They're so good.
They sound interesting. But that's kind of weird, like, that you would have, like, it be cold and hot at the same time.
See, the thing is you don't think about the ice cream being hot. You're really tasting the flavor. Like,
Yeah,
yes, you can tell it's spicy, but you don't really feel heat from it, like you would normally spicy food.
very interesting.
So it's really hard to explain. You kind of have to eat it for yourself to really experience it.
I'll put that on my list. But let's move on to this next one, which is weird. Heinz released a pickle flavored ketchup. Yep, that pause tells you how much Nathan thinks about this.
Sorry, that cut out for me. Could you say that again?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! All right, uh,
Break your Discord.
a pickle flavored ketchup.
Gross.
I'll
I already don't like ketchup. Pickles are good, but you add ketchup, something that I already don't like, on pickles. Ugh.
Nathan, the fact that you don't like ketchup is something that I will war with you until you die because
You
freaking
can war with me all the live long day. Ketchup by itself is not all that great.
bruh.
I will not take the ketchup bottle and just be like those weirdos on the internet. Oh, ketchup's so good, and squeeze it right into their mouth. I'm like,
Well,
nope, that's gross.
well, sure, I wouldn't do that either, but I still think it's really good. But yeah, there's the link to it, Nathan. I just sent it to you in Discord. Pickle flavored ketchup. Um,
Yeah, what the?
I don't know, but
Tomato ketchup.
yeah, I don't get it.
Wow.
But
I don't either. I'm gonna guess that this is probably for. Oh, what's the state that like pickles is like huge?
I have no idea. But it's available here. I mean, you could buy it at Meijer or Kroger
Hang on.
or Walmart here in Indy, which sounds interesting.
New York.
Was the
That's what it is.
New York is the big
So I could see this being popular in New York
probably.
because people in New York love their pickles and
I
ketchup.
bet they have to sell it every
Well,
7 days a week.
Pickles in particular. I see what you did
Oh
there.
yeah, so you say okay. Well, let's move on to the next one, which might be an interesting one for you. You like Mountain Dew, right?
Yes.
Have you heard of uh Voodoo?
Heard of what?
Voodoo.
No. What the frick is voodoo?
Voodoo is a series of Halloween themed mystery flavors for Mountain Dew that's released annually for the Halloween season.
Wait a minute. Halloween Mountain
Voodoo.
Dew flavor. My gosh, I cannot spell for the life of me. What the frick?
They've done 2019, 20, 21, 22,
Ah.
23, and 24. They've been doing this for a couple of years now. But it's a bunch of
So
mystery flavors.
okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So this flavor was ultra rare, and I kind of wish I had kept the bottle.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, if I'm saying it right, let me just double check it before I, tell you. It's another flavor of Mountain Dew.
Okay, we're just gonna move
Let
on
me see.
along from
There
this
it
one.
is. There it is.
Yeah,
Okay. Pitch Black Mountain Dew. Did you ever have that?
I have
Like
never
that
had
was
that.
an extremely rare Mountain Dew flavor, and
Pitch Black
rarely
Mountain
people ever
Dew.
tried it. Yeah, look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Or it I think it was one of the rarest releases they ever released of Mountain Dew. It's
Interesting.
it was kind of like I want to say it was like a blueberry flavor mixed with something else. But I had it. It was good. It was good.
Blast of dark
But I
citrus fruit and other natural flavors. Interesting.
yeah.
Walmart
Like
says you
they
can pick
had
up a
pitch
5 pack
black
of
out
it,
for.
or Walmart says you can pick up a bunch of it for like $5. Interesting.
Wait, did they bring it back?
I don't know.
Let me see.
I'm gonna look this up myself as well, cause let's see.
All right.
Let's see. Big Lots also has it. Mountain Dew Energy Pitch Black, but they're saying that it's out of stock currently. So maybe it is coming back,
That's why.
but they don't have it yet.
Hang on. We're gonna go to the one website that might have this.
Okay.
You know what I'm thinking?
No, I don't. What are you thinking?
Good old Amazon.
Amazon. But while you're looking that up, do you let's return to what the main thing, which was you've never had the voodoo.
Nope, I've never had the voodoo. For some reason, when you said it, I thought voodoo included the pitch black flavor, but it did not.
It does not. Do you want me to tell
And
you
for
what the
reference,
flavors were?
Amazon does not sell it.
Interesting.
Yes, tell me
Okay,
the
so
flavors.
2019 was a candy corn flavored one, which is interesting. 2020 was a fruit candy explosion flavored. 21 a fruit chew candy flavor. 22
Interesting.
was a sour candy flavored. 23 was a cherry airheads flavor. Have you ever had airheads?
I have, yes.
Interesting. And then 2024 is an upcoming unrevealed mystery flavor. So we'll have to wait till Halloween and maybe we'll pick some up and try it if they release it
Nice.
this year. And maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
Now, the Mountain Dew that not a lot of people drink is hard Mountain Dew.
Which just recently came to Indiana from everywhere else it
Yes,
was.
it did.
And hard Mountain Dew is interesting, but also not for everyone, I will say.
Oh, it's absolutely not for everyone. I've had it, and it's very questionable for me, at least. The watermelon flavor was all right. The other flavors, it was kind of a struggle to finish because putting alcohol in, with sodas,
Yeah.
it just, for some reason, for me, just didn't mix well.
Yeah.
So it didn't really work for me.
Yeah. Find
I know
near
you
you.
had some.
Yeah, I had some. It was okay, but then it was like Mountain Dew, and then you get hit with that sourness in the back of your throat that's like, oh yeah, I forgot this was alcoholic.
Yes.
But yeah, you can find them at like a bunch of liquor stores, including um I think yeah, Total Wine and More. You can find it there, which is interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting. But let's move on to the last one I have on my list before we end the episode. This one's a McDonald's release, which is interesting.
Mickey D's.
Mickey D's nuts got him. All right. So,
God.
anyway, this is a McDonald's brought back its jalapeno double, which
Huh.
is jalapeno double, jalapeno bacon quarter pounder with cheese, and then cheesy jalapeno egg McMuffin. So they brought back a couple different jalapeno type sandwiches. Brought back, I'm assuming they did this last year or something, and it didn't stay, and then they brought it back this year, which seems interesting.
Yeah.
But how do you think that would taste? Because like I'm not a big
Personally,
yeah.
for my sake, like some Mountain Dew flavors I'm like very particular with. I don't know if I'd like it. But of
Mountain Dew
course I can't
flavors.
say that without
This is McDonald's. You're
trying.
freaking. All right, let's stop.
Are you talking about like but or wait, no. For some reason I'm thinking of Baja Blast. That's Taco Bell.
Bruh. This is a sandwich from McDonald's. Where the frick are... Okay, I'll stop.
My mind is on Mountain Dew. I want my Mountain Dew. Where the frick is my Mountain Dew? Did you drink
Boogie.
my Mountain Dew? Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell your breath. Ooh, you Mountain Dew drinking peach.
All right. Yeah, Francis
Oh,
from
you
back in
knew
the day
that
was
was
funny. Yeah.
yeah, talking about all this Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Did you
Anyway,
drink my Mountain?
but yeah, no, jalapeno...
Anyway,
A jalapeno flavor. Now, the jalapeno egg
I,
McMuffin sounds weird because, like, imagine you're, picture this. You're like a lawnmower. You get up early in the morning to go mow someone's lawn. You're like, let me stop by McDonald's and get me a egg McMuffin. And you're somebody like pranks you and they're like, hey, here's your McMuffin. You take a bite and you're like, oh, this is good. And then all of a sudden it's spicy.
I would be like, oh, frick you. Now, I have been getting better with spicy food,
Yeah.
but jalapeno hot, probably not.
Nathan, saying like you've been getting better with spicy food but jalapeno hot, like that still shows how weak you are because jalapeno is one of the weakest ones.
See, I've had jalapeno stuff.
Yeah.
I've had the hot Cheetos. Those are jalapeno, aren't they?
I think they might be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are jalapeno. I can eat a few of them, but if I eat too many at once, it's just like my mouth is on fire. Which I think that's actually like not uncommon. Like even if you can handle spicy food, if you try eating the whole bag, by the end you're done with the whole bag. You're like, my mouth is on fire.
Well, then you would not like Takis. I'll say that much.
See, I've had a Taki before. Yes, it's hot, but I couldn't eat too many of them
Yeah.
because
I could do a whole bag. That shows you how much
What?
like spicy food I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the last one I got. I mean, I think it would be interesting. I know that when me and my family went to Canada, there was a Canada exclusive ghost pepper burger from McDonald's.
Ghost pepper. Okay, that'd be way too freaking
Yeah.
hot.
I saw that. I was like scrolling through. I was like, where can we get like McDonald's like something like Canadian exclusive so I can try, and it was like ghost pepper McDouble and I was like, whoa.
Whoa, that's hot.
Yeah. I I
Very hot.
I might be curious to try it, but yeah, no, Nathan, you
Yeah,
would
but
not.
you're gonna take one bite into it, and it's just like hot, hot.
Yeah, no. Nathan would absolutely die if I took him to Joella's hot chicken because
Probably.
because like that's like best hot food I've ever had. But also like your face is turning red and you're sweating and you're gonna want to down a whole gallon of water or something.
Milk.
Well, water or
Water,
milk, yeah.
water, even with okay. So the thing with, hot foods
Yeah.
is that water doesn't really help all that much.
I mean, yeah. But here's the thing. Something I found out recently, which I thought was interesting, was like we were kind of like when we grow up, we were kind of taught like, oh, like when something's hot, drink milk, right?
Yeah,
I actually learned that that's a old wives' tale. It really doesn't matter.
really.
It does
Water or milk.
water or milk. It doesn't really matter because you just have to drink a lot of something. Once the heat gets past your tongue and down to your throat, you can't. It doesn't burn as much because the capsaicin, which makes food hot, it doesn't get eliminated by milk any more than water. So it really doesn't matter. But we were taught
Okay,
that as
so
kids.
that's what Markiplier was talking about on that one episode of Distractable when he was talking about that one guy that was just like eating pure capsaicin.
Yeah.
That's what he meant. I knew it was something hot, but I didn't know what capsaicin really was. I
Capsaicin,
knew it was hot,
yeah,
but I didn't know it was that.
capsaicin is what is the chemical in peppers that makes it hot. Different peppers have it to various degrees of severity. Like,
Well, okay, a natural chemical, so it's not like
right.
made in a factory, but
No,
yes.
chemical doesn't always mean made in a factory. It can also be natural. Like, for instance, when something tastes sweet, glucose is a chemical, but that doesn't mean it's made in
Yes.
a factory. Anyway, no,
Yeah.
capsaicin is the chemical that is produced naturally by pepper plants as they grow, and various different peppers have them to various different degrees. Jalapenos have some, ghost peppers have way more, obviously. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I would be curious to try the ghost pepper McDouble, but you probably would not.
No. No, I'm good.
Anyway, so I mean
Uh,
that's all I got for today's episode.
well, thank you for joining, everybody. We're going to see you next week on this wonderful. No, okay.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us for this episode, and tune in next week to whatever topic Nathan has picked for us today, which is probably, hopefully, something good. Anyway, that's all I got. Bye,
Wow.
guys.